I'm going to tell you about High Performing Team Program, the 2016 version. In this video, I'll give you a little bit of the background to High Performing Team Program, the inspiration to continue to develop the program, what's special about this version, and how you can benefit from the program. It all started at Purina. We were running an inspirational leadership program. It was going really well, and people were coming away from that and saying, couldn't you develop a program for teams? We looked around, couldn't find one, and in true Purina spirit, we created version 1. High Performing Teams was born, and we continued to develop it. By the time I left at the end of 2009, we got up to version 12. I set up Release the Magic in 2010, and one of the first things I did was take on board everything I'd learned over the last 10 years and created the first version of Release the Magic. In this, I looked at the evolution of teams, sometimes from dysfunctional all the way into functional, performing, and then high performing, and identified the areas that people could work on. We're now into 2016, and we have a new version ready for this year. The inspiration that has helped me to develop the new version, very much the All Blacks win, and the book Legacy by James Kerr is a really good example of defining what a good team's all about. Building performance improvement into the team, something called the growth mindset, which is about helping people to develop their own skills, and then of course the 70-20-10 model. How do you integrate that into the team?
And the playing head of the team, Richie McCaw, will see his coach applaud and then step forward to lift the World Cup for a second time.
And His Royal Highness Prince Henry of Wales will now present the Webb Ellis Cup to Richie McCaw.
It's never been about him, never will be if he's got anything to do with it. But he gets this chance to do something now that nobody else has done, to hold on to a second World Cup, a third cup for his nation, a first on overseas soil.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners of the Rugby World Cup 2015, New Zealand.
The story ends perfectly for McCaw, for his team. New Zealand still champions of the world.
An amazing example of how a team can work together to become the best in the world, the best team across all formats. It's not just about rugby. They are awesome. But part of it is even a perfect score leaves room for improvement. Transparency and honest self-reflection around team performance leave the jersey in a better place. If teams can bring this into their ways of working, then they will become high performing. Look at the GB cycling team, learning to find marginal gains, little gains, Kaizen, small little gains, plus the big gains. That's what performance comes from. In the many workshops I've run, people always arrive at a list of things that they want to do. And the unfortunate part is they have to go back to work. And this is what a typical day looks like. And the problem is they've decided to do many things, but they just don't have the capacity to implement these changes. So part of the program is to encourage teams to look for ways to create capacity. Are there ways to eradicate waste? and find spare time? Are there ways to take non-value added activities, streamline them, smarten them up, stop them? And then that gives you the capacity to maximize your value, maximize the value that you add. But unless you create capacity, you just don't get there. Otherwise, you're just talking about it. The growth mindset is something they use in schools for children to get them past this view that you only have what you're born with. The answer, of course, is that if you have a growth mindset, you will learn to work on things. With a lot of the best players in the world in different formats, it's because they practice, it's because they work on it. If you see Murray playing tennis, it's because he works on the things that he's not good at. But unfortunately, so often in business, people don't do this. So build the growth mindset into the way you operate as a team. So if someone's not a good presenter now, they're not yet a good presenter. As long as people get the word yet in there, because they can continue to work on this, can learn anything we want to. And particularly within a team, you've got people with multiple different skills, and you can help one another. You build in coaching to help one another to develop. 70-20-10 is a fantastic model. I've tested this all over the world by getting people to brainstorm how they were developed. And it always comes out pretty much on those percentages. Yes, we have to learn stuff through formal learning, and we do learn a lot from others, but majority of our learning is by doing, by implementing what we've learned into day-to-day practice. How we get that to work is performance management should be at the heart of everything we do. If we then apply 70-20-10 to the way we develop our people, but add to that performance coaching. So within a team, you train your people to be able to be performance coaches. And I use the word performance coaching because so many of the other terms are benign. Within a team, it's all about performing. So the coaches must be trained to help people to perform at a higher level. Because if individuals are performing at a higher level, the team is performing at a higher level. So this is the model. Starting with the engaging leader, right at the center of the model. Know and grow our skills, people understanding each other's skills, and then helping one another to develop, or developing this growth mindset, continuous performance improvement, looking for small gains, looking for big gains, mutual trust. People trust one another. They trust one another and can help one another. Having a vision that inspires everybody, the why and the how of the team, the goals, what they do, fully aligned, and then the team, pride and passion, who. So this is the new model. For the program, we have a single laminated card. This is the one page which defines the model. You can see those 7 areas color-coded to the model. Under each of the headings, we have 5 questions. Now, these questions then drop into team member and key stakeholder surveys. So we send these out before the workshop so that everyone can get a full appreciation of what the perception is. This is the reality of the team. It gives you the key areas that you can work on, the areas that you're really good at, but identifies the areas that you need to work on. And at the bottom there, those are a group of modules that help the team to work in a simpler, smarter, quicker way. Getting rid of waste, powering up your personal energy, running great meetings, using email effectively, planning your day properly, getting yourself organized, getting the buy-in of others, and then focusing on what really matters. Each one of those little modules, invariably, this part of the program is run in your workplace, at your desks, to help you to sort of focus on what really matters. The second part of the card is the performance coaching. It contains the 4 key coaching skills. and the performance coaching tools. These are all tools that have come out of our coaching program, and they now become part of high-performing teams. This is the way we develop our people to be able to coach one another, to bring peer-to-peer coaching to your teams. Right, old favorites for those that have been involved in high-performing teams is the loving boots, supporting one another. Moving from the stress box, probably from the cozy club, but aiming to get into the loving boot, where you care enough about people to give them sometimes quite tough feedback. Because the one key thing to emphasize that high-performing teams require feedback to be a part of the culture, where people get feedback from one another, and things that are likely to go wrong won't go wrong because you challenge all the way. Okay, so the other part of the program is to do with relationships. We still have the relationship game in the program, helping people to develop their relationships to a higher level. What? How can you get going? The starting point is we work with you to design your high-performing team program, taking into account where you are, taking into account what you have available to you in terms of resources and programs that exist. Once we've designed the program together with you, we'll set up the team member and the key stakeholder survey. This is for the first team that you actually want to run the program with. We run a kickoff program. From that program, we'll identify the key actions that need to be taken in order for that team to become high performing. And then over time, we will run additional modules to help the team to develop. It generally takes about 12 to 18 months for the team to really improve performance, but you get immediate gains. There's an immediate improvement. So often I've heard people say they went as a group of individuals onto the kickoff workshop, they came away as a team. So that's part of what we do. So in summary, the 2006 version of High Performing Teams is a result of many years practical experience. Many people have contributed towards this design. I just happen to be the custodian. It will be tailor-made to your needs. And the new version is about incorporating continuous performance improvement plus the growth mindset into the design, not leaving that to chance. Finally, it works. If you would like to find out more about this program, just get in touch with me. My email's there. It doesn't hurt to talk. Just get in touch and we can talk about that. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening.